Now my question.
Yes.
I want to know how to use social media. I want to be heard, and I want to know what venue of social media would reach the greatest population of people, especially here in California or the Western.
Well, that is a great question. Most social media is set up in such a way that people won't hear you unless they specifically follow you. So that's how Twitter works. That's how Google Plus works. That's how Facebook works. And all three of those big social media platforms, you're shouting into the wind unless people intentionally listen to you. So they're not broadcast mediums in the sense that, I guess that's true, though, of broadcast, too. If you don't tune to your local radio station, you're not going to hear me either. So that's an important thing, because what it means is you can't just create a Twitter account or a Facebook account or a Google Plus account or a Pinterest account and expect to be heard. That doesn't work that way. You have to generate interest in what you're saying in other areas and get people to follow you on Twitter and Pinterest.
Well, like a blog or a web page?
Yeah, I think, unfortunately in this social media era, people no longer really create blogs or web pages. That's kind of dying. But I think it's still important that you own one place on the net that's yours, that has your name on it. Now, so let's say you have, I presume you have something to say. You just there's something you want to get out there. You care a lot about something.
I want to be heard. I have something very important.
Good.
It needs to be heard.
And that's wonderful. And that's what I am so excited about with the internet, is that it gives anybody a pulpit. And, in the past, the way it's worked with mass media is, and I know this because I had to do it, you have to talk somebody into letting you on the air. Now, it happens to be a bully pulpit. Once you get on the air on a big station, you have a lot of listeners. But it's not easy. And there's a gatekeeper, whether it's the music industry, the publishing industry, television, radio, or movies. There's a guy, usually a white guy with a lot of money, who had, built the tower or set up the movie company or has the recording studios, who has all the say. And those people have been gatekeepers for the last 100 years. They're the ones who say, they're the, quote, hit makers, right? What does that mean? Well, they're in charge. And the internet has changed that. If you're a great musician, a great writer, if you have something to say and it resonates with people, the internet gives you the chance to reach almost everybody in the world, 1 billion people in the world, for free.
Give me a finger hold of where I can start.
The first thing to do is to create a website, and you can do that in a lot of places. It's free on WordPress or blogger.com. Squarespace is $8 a month. It's very easy to create your own website. That's the start. And then, one of the things when we talk about Squarespace, I talk about how easy it is to link your social media in, and that's what you want. You want your Twitter feed, you want your Facebook feed, and all of that to refer back. And you want, when people go to your website, them to see your Twitter feed and your Facebook feed so that they know, oh, this is great. Cheryl's putting a lot of great stuff up there. I'm going to make sure I follow her on Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest and wherever. Is it a political issue? What is the issue for you?
Well,
you don't have to, generally.
I don't mind telling you, I just didn't want to take time on your show. But well,
you're going to, by the way, you're going to have to change that attitude. You need to start getting aggressive. Okay. You know who gets heard? The squeaky wheel, the pushy guy.
Well, I am squeaky, and I'm angry because there's a healthcare organization, an HMO called Kaiser Permanente, and they have screwed me over royally. They have taken and amputated my leg and botched it.
Oh, that's terrible. So now I have to say that this is, okay, so this is personal. It's so I would definitely write your story and put it on a website. That's the first place.
Okay.
But I have to say that, so I should amend what my advice was. If you're having trouble with an organization, almost every organization, Kaiser included, monitors their Twitter feeds. So another way you can get, if you're trying to get their attention, there's a difference between trying to get the public's attention and a company, individual's attention. If you're trying to get their attention, you start tweeting publicly with whatever their Twitter handle is, @Kaiser.
They shut me out. I need people to hear what they're doing.
Well,
people don't know about.
So what scares them and what makes this effective is that you're doing this in public. It's like kind of like,
Right.
remember Speaker's Corner in London on Hyde Park, where people would, this was a great tradition in London that anybody could get up on a box and talk about any issue. And the internet is Speaker's Corner for everybody. But so the thing is, once you start saying this in public, then organizations start to sit up and take notice. That's why the best way often to get relief if you've got a consumer issue is to go onto Twitter and start tweeting it. And many of these companies, they very carefully watch Twitter, because what they don't want, it's one thing if you're talking to them on the phone, nobody else is hearing it. What they don't want is for you to be complaining in public. So start tweeting, right? I would start by writing a blog that is a detailed account of your story, because that's where you're going to refer people to.
Where will I go to do that?
WordPress.com is free. It's a
WordPress,
good, yeah. Blogger.com, that's Google's version of that. They're both free, and they're very easy to use. And all you need is it's kind of like, WordPress.com is a great place to start. And then you just create that page, and then people will go there if they want to read the details. But now you create an account. You probably already have a Facebook account. You may even have a Twitter account. I would make sure that you have both, and start talking about it and refer people back to your page. Your Twitter account should have a link to that page on the header, because it asks you when you set up the account, for a biographical information. Say specifically, I got screwed by Kaiser. I want you to hear my story so it doesn't happen to you. Here's the link. And you have that website there. And then you start tweeting. And don't, you know what? I think one of the things is to not look like, you don't want to look like a crank, is to talk about the specific issues and details and why it's important for everybody to listen to what you have to say. If you're just an angry person shouting on a street corner, you're going to get less attention than if you're on a street corner, reasoned, thoughtful, making excellent points. So remember that. And the Twitter is the street corner. It's the modern Speaker's Corner. And what's different about this is that every organization, I'm sure Kaiser's this way, every organization carefully monitors what's going on there, because they want to make sure that their public image is not damaged on Twitter. Anytime I've complained on Twitter, I've heard about it. Of course, it helps. The more people you have following you, the better. So you want to kind of build up that following.